Thank you. Very good afternoon. Um, it's a self-organizing team. It's always the main topic of Agile. But it's how we can build a self-organizing team. It's really very mysterious. So I think it will be a great session for all of us. So before I start today's session, please, next slide. I'm trying to introduce myself. My name is MD Shah Jalal. You can call me Jalal. Currently, I'm working as a head of software development and implementation. Synesis IT, it's a local Bangladeshi-based company. We are basically working for government agencies. And currently, I'm working with 80 people's team member. So I'm going to share with my actually own experiences throughout this session, and you might need some activities as well. So, next. So today's agenda is the purpose of the session. The session's main purpose to build your own team charter. So when you are leaving this session, I do believe you can actually take out your own team charter. Okay. Then team building, Tuckman theories, the idea of team charter, individual activities, team activities, so on. So next slide, please. So what is called team? So we already know that a definition of the team. The definition of team is that together everyone achieve more. So how actually it can happen? So next slide. So anybody here knows the Tuckman theories? The Bruce Tuckman, someone called Bruce Tuckman. In 1965, he actually elaborated a theory. He defined few steps. So the five steps or stages which actually mentioned the team. So the first thing that we need to form a team. So for our next few couple of activities, we need to build a team. So I am seeing that different table. So if you are in the same organization, I would request to shift your chair for the time being now to develop a team. So for now, we are going to develop a team. So would you please, if you are in the same organization, please shift your chair and build a team. We would like to see that every table have a team. And just do it within 1 minute. Can I request all of you? So if you are in the same organization, you should shift your chair because for the today, you will have a new team. So we are forming a team, right? So based on the Tuckman theory, we are forming the team. So later on, we will do some activities. So what is the Tuckman theory is that when a team is forming, the next stage is storming. You know, in a team, everyone wants to prove themselves, and by the the proving yourself, you need to fight to each other. The stage is actually storming. After a certain period, when the storming is finished, we can understand each other, and this stage is called norming. In this norming situation, we people could understand our team members' mindset, their habits, and their expertise, and the strong side, weakness, and all over the idea about the people, and we become friends. The norming situation, team become the friend, and next one is actually performing. And later on, when the project is ended, we might need to adjourning the team, and let's build a new team. So this the 5 stages is the Tuckman theories is mentioned, and I do believe, and I have experienced actually it happened in my life. So please next. So now the structure, it's not a mandatory structure. We actually define the structure, and I have found many other sessions or many other areas that how actually team charter could be developed. So this is a template. Just write down yourself, and in every table you should have a team leader. So please decide your team leader and set the team charter structure. So your team should have a name. Probably not the logo for this time, but you should have a name, and set the key responsible person or your team lead or captain or servant leader, Scrum Master, whatever you are talking. So all table have the team leader? All team leaders. So please decide your team leader and write down your team name and the other attributes I will discuss about. I will discuss later. So you should at least team lead and at least one and your team name. Okay. So we are going to develop our team charter. So you might have a motto, your team tagline. So all of you have a team leader, all the tables. So we will get feedback from the team leader. Okay. So okay, next slide, please. So before our next 5-minute activities, I just want to share these 5 values from Scrums. That before start your next 5 minutes activities, you have to focus on these 5 values. Okay. So when you are in a team, you should have these 5 values, like openness. You have enough courage and the focus and commitment, and the respects to each other. Okay. So now just I'm giving you an example that you are in a software development team, and you might have a few freshers, you might have a few little bit experienced, 1 or 2 years, 3 years experience people. Some team might have a 10 years experience people. So the combination of a team might be different. Okay. So by these 5 values, we can actually run the team. So I am going to start the 5-minute activities. Just all of you, it's an individual activities, okay? All of you have to write down all possible problems you are facing in your current team. Like this current team, every individual people should start write their own problems that you are facing during your daily activities or your project, meeting your project goals or whatever the problems. So every member should, time is start now. It could be anything, whatever you are feeling or facing the problems in your current team, current organization, or existing the new developed team here. So individually, every people should write their own problem within these 5 minutes. Later on, the team lead will take this list. Okay. So it's an individual no activities. You should write your own problem. You no need to discuss with others that whatever your problem is common or not. Okay. So whatever you are facing your day-to-day life, the problems or issues. So there is a 1 minute left. So it was an individual activity, right? So now you have a team lead, right? So all of you pass your problem you write down to your team lead and let him merge the list. You might have few common problem, right? So I am requesting all team lead and take the help of team member, merge your problem list. So you should have a single list for every team. Okay. We are going to merge all of your problems or issues, whatever we are talking about. So please, it's an 10-minute activities. I am just merging the problems. So when you finish or merge, have you complete your list? Just let me know. Okay, everybody, thank you for your collaborative works. So let's have it, check out the 3 pillars of Scrums. Okay, so by the 2 activities, individual and the team activities, we are making transparency that we all knows what we are doing, right? So this will be your first version of the team charter, which you have to observe, keep, inspect, and adapt the best practices and leave the worst practices. So these 3 pillars is very important for every team. So without transparency, no team can work, because if you don't understand how team works, you cannot add the values toward your team, your project, your department, your organization, your client, any sections. So everyone should know what to do, how to do, what is not to do. Okay. So transparency is a very first key thing, and the next thing is that inspect. You have to always identify the good thing or bad thing, and you have to address that what should not to do. Okay. So I think I am going to share with you my one team charter just a few minutes later, which is the fourth version of the team charter. So it's a little bit big because they have developing by observing their different need. Okay. So I think this is very important to understand every team. So next slide, please. So this is one sample team charter. So it was a team called the team. The team name is the team. When the team started to understand teamwork and they are planning to develop your team charter, they were talking and individually they wrote their problems. And later on, the team leader came up with the list and merged the problems and found that we have at least 10 to 11 problems, where 5 or 6 problems are mostly same. Okay. So I'm giving you a few examples like that. When people start in the morning in office, so your colleagues might same batch or a little bit senior or junior. We have a very friendly environment, friendly relationship. Basically, in IT industry, we are very friendly. So I usually never say someone called boss. I always say used to say bhai, in Bangladesh. So yeah, in here dai. So that's how friendly in our IT industry. Like you cannot do it in bank or something established industry. Like you cannot tell your any banker brother in office that buy or die. Okay. So that's that much friendly we are. So what happened, in early morning when someone came up, enters the office, it's just without asking you, you can start any gossip. It might be based on that same common interest. It might be any celebrity news. It could be sports, whatever the topic. You just come when you meet, then you start the gossiping, and it's not happening in the early in the morning. It could happen in during the whole day. So anybody can start talking anything anytime. So someone listed the problem. So this is very complicated problem. I was in a very deep thinking with that particular problem, but someone was interacting with me without asking me. So this is a problem. This could be a problem in your team. Team member can interact with anybody without concerning that he is in might have a different thought, or he might have thinking of different solution, or you might even different algorithm set, whatever it could be. But you should acknowledge first that you're trying to talking with him, or you might have any feedback, or you might have any engagement with him. So I'm just giving an example that team member writes their own problem and merging the problem and the separating the exceptional, but the identifying the major problem is the main purpose for a team. So the team actually proposing few activities. Okay. So first they gave the name, and the team leader name actually, this is not team lead, we actually used to servant leader. Okay. So you could be give a name captain or anything, Sherpa, whatever you do like. It could be a team lead still, no problem. They set the daily stand-up time, and it was 10 and it was 10:30, and the current version is 9:30. Okay. So they have a concept. I was back 2018. I was in Nepal in a regional Scrum gathering. That time I had a lightning talk session. And I shared the power play concept, and it's so much popular in my organization that our business team also use the power play concept. Okay, but I'm not sure that they can use it regularly, but they loved it and they used it. In this power play section, the team identified that every developer should have a minimum 4-hour concentration, or a minimum dedicated 4 hour to develop or solve any problem. So team defined their own power play concept. Do you know cricket, right? Okay, so this concept actually picked from the cricket. So during this power play, the policy is defined by the team, not a team leader, not by no department head, not by organization. They actually decide how they will work. So they said that power play time 2 hour 10:30 to 1 p.m. and second session, second power play is 3 to 4:30 p.m. Okay, so there is a pandemic and COVID situation. The work from home situation is come, right? So some rules actually they said when you are work from home, this should be this rule for that time. When you are work from office, that rules is applicable for office. Okay. So there is a daily power play concept and a daily work review time. Team decided. Usually, currently they are reviewing their work at 5. Usually, team activities. Like when they will do team meeting. It is defined. You cannot do any time team meeting. It's based on this team criteria. But any other team might have their ad hoc basis meeting. So it's okay. They are defining their team meeting time. Okay. So actually they have combination of Scrum and Kanban. They are not fully focusing the Scrum because this team has some support and maintenance project. So that's why they are not following fully Scrum, but they have a defined meeting time. And the mobile phone uses policy. So we all have nowadays a smartphone. We have so many services, instant message services, WhatsApp, Viber, Emo, and Messenger. So we usually are using this during our office hour. So we are distracting by these things. So that is also enlisted by that team. So this is also a problem. Our team member always focus on the messenger. You might have a different other messengers. So the team defined the mobile phone uses policy that during the power play nobody can use even their own mobile data. Okay, mobile has to be silent during all the working hours, and the mobile data as well as the Wi-Fi and personal internet using should be turned off during this power play. Okay, the team feels that if we avoid the other interaction during this period, our progress or our productivity could be improved. Okay, so next slide. So team working process. Team define their working process like they are following the Kanban mostly, but a few of practices are from the Scrum like daily stand-up and the team meeting sometimes, but not Scrum fully. That they have definition of done checklist. So every development should have the definition of done, right? So they have write their own checklist by that every people should know that when someone call that I am done with my job, my task, then everybody can understand that okay now what is the situation right now. So I just remove the full list because that is a big list. So this is a PowerPoint slide, but I just keep the status. I thought that it might help you that what is the definition of different status. Okay. So team defined their, this is number 4 version of 4 team charter. This is not the first team charter. So people don't get confused that you should start with this list, this details. Okay, you could start with a little bit small one. Okay, so this is the 4th version of this team. So they have defined their own status. So what is called backlog, what is called pending, what is in progress, what is hold, in review, done, stage production. So it might be changed. It might be customized by your team based on your product delivery, based on your client understanding, based on your current organization practices, how you are actually defining the different status. Okay, so it's an example. This team has this sort of status. So now all of your team should have the list of problem, right? Okay, so some team might have also the solutions. Okay. So now try to understand what you are going to solution, what problem you are going to solution. You have to you as a team, you have to understand how your team can work together to come up with the solution. So there is no tonic, there is no such medicine that anybody can give you. You people, your team, your organization, your department. So you people should know what is your existing culture, what is your client needs, how you are now working, and what should be the best possible way out from the problems. Okay, so team charter is a tool where you should write your own policy, where you should write your own activities, where should you practice, like after 2 or 3 weeks, like if you have a Scrum practice, so you might after 2 or 3 sprint should sit together, let's check together the team charter, that whether what sort of practice should change or not, what is the good, I mean it's some kind of retrospective of team charter. Okay, so next slide please. So it was an example I showed in last my regional Scrum gathering in Nepal. So we just not only wrote the team charter, we actually make it poster and we just put it in the wall of the every team, so they can when they entrance their work area, they can understand when their power play, what is the policy of. I just keep the one example. So some the values, courage, focus, openness. So the tagline, the strength of the team is each member. The strength of each member is the team. This is a tagline for this team. So currently I have I'm working with almost 6 or 7 teams. So all team have their own team charter, and it's very difficult. But if you are continuously focusing the improvement, so you should have the inspect and adapt. So you have the examples now. So I do believe that whoever the list of problem, the all team lead. So I think okay, I have time. So all team leader, please exchange your problem list with other tables. So we want to know that is the problem is the for this team, or this is the global problem. I think we are going to get some common problem, right? So I do believe from today, so you are now understanding how you can build a team charter. So this is a collaborative work. So please exchange your the final list, the prioritize the final list, the merged list, exchange with other team, so that other people can understand that what are the common problem or not. Yeah, just share the problem list. That just try to get the idea that whether we have common problem or not. So just share the knowledge that whether we are the only person having the same problem, this kind of problem, or the other people are facing these kind of problems. So there is 1 minute to review the other team members or other teams' problems. So the four key, the write-up, Manifesto of Agile, not the Agile Manifesto. So by today's session, so what thing we have learned, that individual and interactions, right? So what is our objective? The always working software, right? We have to work for working software, right? Okay. And this is not only the customer collaboration, this is also the all stakeholders collaboration we need, right? And responding to change. So I do believe if you start your team charter, you should respond to your change when your project change, your team change, or your product change, whatever the change might come, you should adopt the respond to the change. So this Manifesto of Agile should be understand by each and every team member. So we are now. What is the experience in our team leader? So are we facing the same few commons? Okay. Okay. So I do believe the manifesto all of you should read more and more. These 4 manifesto and the Manifesto of Agile should read by your team every week. That you can remember. So you can feel and realize, and you can understand, and you can implement throughout your project, product, journey, whatever the career you are thinking about. So next slide. So I am done from today. So stay connected. So there is my LinkedIn profile and my WhatsApp number, and I will share this. I already shared this slide with the Amit Dai. So I do believe you will have this one. So thank you guys. So if you have any question or any feedback, we have 2 minutes. So if you have any question.